Hi everyone, Anthony Morgan's Training Academy. Hey, and if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe. It helps me a lot in getting my information, my material out there and sharing my videos. A lot of stuff that, information that's being taught out there isn't being taught correctly. And so that's kind of one thing that I'm trying to bring to you is how I've been taught over the last 55 years, and a lot of that stuff is disappearing. A lot of the guys are dying off, and you know, that stuff's going to be, you know, unless you can find it in a book, you're not going to find anyone that's going to be able to teach you all the little points and all the little nuggets that you need to learn how to deal with situations coming in. Now, how I deal with a situation coming in and how a boxer would deal with something coming in is totally different. Even though a lot of times the footwork may be similar, but today all we're going to do, I'm just going to work with you on five basic positions of working with a knife. Okay, now this is an edge mark, Solon, Germany. Stag handles. I really like stag handles. I think they have an old world feel. They feel good in the hands. Do you want something that's flashy to, you know, do you want something that looks like a fighting knife? And what is a fighting knife? Okay, something that's, you say, well, it fits good in my hand and I can use it for slashing, thrusting, any object you can do with that. So, you know, when it comes to fighting knives, I mean, there's going to be some that are kind of cool to have, but you know, like I said, I like the old school, you know, and being old school, I just picked this one up the other day. This is an Almar. It's a folder, and it's a great knife. It would serve to, you know, cut and stick. So when I talk about five positions on knife fight, and I would teach this to anyone, and this comes off the 12 count here, which is what I learned, you know, years and years ago, which is off the Inosanto system, the first system that Dan Inosanto taught, and so that's the same one that I teach these nowadays. I don't see any reason in changing that. The system works and it covers everything that you need to cover. So, you know, when you look at a number one, you have a number one, a number two, a number three, a number four, and a number five. Okay, now on those five slashes in that one thrust, if I slash here on a number one, that's my number one line. It's an angle. Okay, it's not this isn't right up here as a number one. Well, this is a number one angle that comes through. Now that number one angle can go to here, it can go to here, it can go to here. And so don't get caught up in saying, well, this has to be to the head for a number one angle, because it doesn't have to be. It may, if I'm here and I slash on the number one angle here to the arm, this is the outside arm. Now I may slash to the inside arm here, which is still a number one line. It's the angle that weapon comes into. So if this is a number one angle here, okay, this is going to be a number one angle. This is going to be a number one angle. But it's that angle. There's a number one angle. So keep that in mind, that the number one angle is not at the head. And they say, well, feed me a number one angle. Well, is that going to be a number one angle to the head, or one angle to the shoulder, to the ribs, to the hip, to the knee? Most everybody, when you say number one, they want it to come to the head. So anyway, and this is great for women also. And if you're dealing with the knife, this should be the first five that you would learn, just because the fact that you can keep somebody away from you. So if you go one, you go two, you go three, you go four, and you go five. Okay, now the five line is coming up the center. Now this five line can go from here, okay? This five line can go to here. It's still coming up the center here to the five. So I can five here. Now sometimes I may five this way, where my blade is going up. I can five here. It's still, the five is down through the center of the body from my head to my toe. That's a number 5 line. So if I'm down here, I can have the edge going down. 5. If I'm up here, I can have the edge going up. Okay, I can also have the edge going out for the 5 line. I can also turn it to here and go edge out the opposite direction. So I know it starts getting confusing. It's confusing, but actually it's not. So this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, this is a 4, this is a 5. Now, off those 5 lines, if you practice those and practice them and practice them, doesn't matter what you pick up in your hand, you're going to do that numbering system. So spending the time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. Now you notice that 5, that's actually a 6, okay, but we're not going to get into the 6, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, which falls back into this line. But you say, well, the 5's a thrust, correct? This is a thrust coming in for the 5, right? But if I move to here and I come in this angle, it's coming off that outside angle, which would be a 6. But then that gets into the rest of the 12 count. So, like I said, as somebody just learning knives, yeah, I most of the time, all my guys here that I work with, most everything else I cover is a 1 through 5 line. Those are the most common. And when I say number 1 through 5 line, the number 1 is going to be the most common that anyone out there throws. The number 1 line, whether it's with a knife, whether it's a stick, whatever it may be. But a number 1, the second common is a number 2, because they'll go through and they'll back through. Number 3, which is going through. Number 4 is coming to here, and number 5 is coming up the center. Those are the most common out of everything that's thrown out there. So keep that in mind as you're training, and if you're following with me on my YouTubes. Sometimes I jump around, but a lot of times I start working on areas that I think that people need to work on. Okay, like I said, with just those 5 basics, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is all you need to do, is get really good at those 5 positions. That's going to cover you on anything that's coming in. And like I said, if somebody's reaching out with a hand, that's going to be a number 1. If they're reaching with this hand, it's going to be a number 2. Okay, and and then you start, applying the other hand, how this is coming in, and what system you're in when this other hand is here. Okay, this hand may be here for a thrust here. Okay, on a 5. Okay. Now, this hand may be here for the thrust on 5, okay? Don't get caught up in all that. All you really want to be thinking is this hand has to be, as C. Joe James Tamayo once said, brother, sister. They both help each other out. So if I'm working here, this hand knows exactly what this hand's doing. So if I'm working on blade work, this hand knows exactly where this other hand is, okay? And I don't want to be making stupid mistakes right off the get-go, especially for all you that are just learning how to do blade work. Don't start out with a sharp blade like this one. Get anything. Get a piece of cardboard and start working with a piece of cardboard, or get an old butter knife and start working with a butter knife. But don't start out with a sharp knife, because they do cut. I work with knives, every day of the week. So, how I work with knives, and I get cut as it is. I've got a cut right there that I picked up yesterday, just for the fact of, I was working with something and just, one little wrong turn and I was cut. But, I'm constantly checking edges, mainly because I sharpen knives. And I'm constantly checking, I'm thinking, okay, well, is this sharp? Is it dull? This is pretty sharp, but I don't have a fear of blades. So, if I put a lot of pressure on, sure, it's going to cut me. But, think about the 1 through 5, and it can be with a stick or it can be with a knife. Today is about blade work. And so when this 1 comes through, this 2, this 3, this 4, and this is 5. Just plain and simple. If I take it one step further, which earth position, thumbs on the back of the blade. This is still a 1. This is still a 2. This is still a 3. This is still, this is a 4. This is still a 5. Okay, because the weight's coming in. But a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Okay, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Earth position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it doesn't matter if I'm in heaven or if I'm in earth. But get used to your knife. Okay? And knife work, there's never a dull moment. Okay? Never a dull moment. So keep that in mind. Okay? Never a dull moment. Okay? And I will see you on the next video, and continue to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.